Hello, Christy Wharton here with today's Biblical Brain Break. Proverbs 4:23 says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." Solomon uses the Hebrew word Natsar, translated guard, and this is a watchman's word. Natsar is used for a soldier posted at the city wall, for someone keeping vigil over a treasure, for standing sentry through the night. It implies vigilance, intentionality, and a clear awareness of what you are protecting against. And what is he guarding? The leb, translated heart, which in Hebrew is not primarily the seat of emotion the way we think of it in English. The leb is the seat of the mind, the will, the moral compass, and the core beliefs that govern every decision. Every thought pattern you run, every relationship you navigate, every choice you make, all of it flows downstream from what is happening in the leb. And the word translated flows is totzaot, which means outflows, springs, the water that pours from a source. Solomon is saying, whatever enters and shapes your leb becomes the source from which your entire life pours out. Guard the source. Here's what neuroscience tells us. Researchers at the HeartMath Institute discovered something extraordinary. The heart sends significantly more neural signals to the brain than the brain sends to the heart. The heart has its own intrinsic nervous system with approximately 40,000 neurons, and it communicates directly with the brain's amygdala, thalamus, and prefrontal cortex. What you expose your heart and mind to directly influences your heart rate variability, or HRV, which is one of the most reliable markers of emotional resilience and cognitive flexibility researchers have identified. But it goes further. Studies on media consumption and cognitive load show that unfiltered chronic exposure to alarming, negative, or fragmenting content keeps the amygdala in a state of low-grade activation, subtly degrading the prefrontal cortex's ability to regulate emotion, maintain focus, and think clearly over time. What you allow shapes your neural architecture. Solomon was writing a neuroscience principle 3,000 years before the science caught up. Here's your practice, and it focuses on the two most neurologically significant windows of your day. The morning gate. Before you check your phone, your news feed, or your email, give your leb its first input intentionally. Spend 2 minutes with one verse, one prayer, or one truth you want to carry. What enters first sets a neurological tone that influences your default mode for hours. The evening gate. In the 30 minutes before sleep, your brain enters a heightened consolidation state, encoding the day's inputs more deeply into long-term memory. Research shows that what you expose yourself to in this window has outsized influence on emotional processing overnight. Guard this gate with particular care. Why does guarding these two windows matter more than the middle of the day? Because the brain's neurochemical state at wake-up and at sleep onset determines the baseline from which everything else operates. Protect the source and the outflows change. Natsar. Stand guard with intentionality. Your leb is the source of everything that flows from your life. What you allow in becomes what pours out. This is one of the foundational principles in the Renew Your Mind program at Pathlight Coaching. I hope it helps you guard what matters most today.